Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CSTV. I'm your host Kathleen. For the new members, kindly remember to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And remember that in CSTV, we keep it raw and real. Today, the striker leads us to the salary cuts among junior police officers in the country. Now, a few days ago, I was going through news as normal, and what I came across is police officers, a case where police officers actually, their salaries had been cut and they had even sued their employer. And it left me asking myself so many questions. Number one was with regard to the duty and the value of police officers in the country. And number two was with regard to the working conditions and the remunerations that our police officers get. Now, I saw the news elicited a lot of reactions from the citizenry, with others supporting the move, while others were actually against the move. And I was asking myself that the police officers are among the individuals in this country we have bestowed with the duty to ensure security in this country. And I believe that security constitutes a very important facet of us as a country, as human beings, in our daily economic, political, and social activities. It is a work that comes with a lot of sacrifices, because a police officer who is waking up in the morning to job, he's not assured that he will be back in the evening, because for him, he has to deal with the enemy, and he has to ensure that actually the country is secure, because he doesn't know where he will meet his enemy, and he has to sacrifice his life all the time. He's prepared all the time. And remember, these are people's daughters, people's sons, people's fathers, people's mothers, people's brothers and sisters. They have dependents. And then I looked at it, I was like, an average salary of a normal police officer or a junior police officer in the country is 30,000 Kenya shillings. And I was like, is the salary our officers getting actually equivalent to the kind of work or to the kind of duty that we have given them? Then I asked myself, why is it that in this country, the people who we give the most sensitive and hard tasks are the people who are paid lowly? Look at the police officers, look at the teachers, and especially look at the ECD teachers, the person who introduces your child to the world of academia, knowing himself or herself and so forth. Look at the nurses, the people who spend most of the time with the patient more than another healthy practitioner. Like, those people who do the most important and sensitive job are the people that we demean and look down upon. And I'm like, now we don't want to increase salary for our police officers. We don't want to give them a better salary. We are discouraging them actually from going for further studies, and discouraging officers from going for further studies. I think it is limiting their knowledge in terms of the duties that they are supposed to perform, because apart from this officer going through a military training, they also need to understand the law. They need to understand so many things. They also need to interact with the outside world. And I believe that their life in the colleges or their life in the campuses gives them a chance to do that. But why should somebody waste his time to go back to school to study when actually these papers are not adding anything to them in terms of the kind of work they do, in terms of even the motivation? So I just realized that actually we are pushing our police officers to the wall. I saw some Kenyans rejoice and say that police officers should not be paid money because they take bribes from us every day. Sometimes I do say that the work conditions that we subject our police officers to sometimes triggers or sometimes places them in a desperate situation and they end up into bribery, into corruption, to supplement the kind of salaries they get, to supplement the kind of money they get at the end of the month. But I don't mean to justify corruption or bribery by some logy police officers. We also have good police officers who don't take bribes, who are not corrupt, and still they are surviving on the same salary. But now the question is, how motivated are our officers in terms of provision of security to this country, especially when they feel like their employer is squeezing them? Somebody wakes up in the morning, puts his whole her life in danger. He doesn't know that he will come back in the evening to see her daughter, her son, her wife, her husband, her mother, her father. But when it comes to salary, we don't want to give them much. But we have politicians and people in this country who earn a lot of money. In fact, one politician gets money, earns a salary that is equivalent to a salary of 10 teachers, or equivalent to the salary of 10 police officers a month. How practical is that? I think it's high time that then we harmonized our salaries and remunerations. And I don't know why the Salaries and Remuneration Commission comes in to implement its salary and remuneration policies when it has to do with the reduction of salaries on the lowly or the less fortunate workers in this country. But when it's all about reducing the salary of the elite workers in this country, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission never talks. And for me, I think we are headed towards the wrong direction, especially when it comes to the security sector. It is a sector that we should not try. It is a sector that we should not take for granted. It is a sector, if they put their tools down, this country can be chaotic. So it's a sector that we are supposed to treat with the respect, the dignity with which they are supposed to be treated. And I believe that it is high time that the security sector and the conditions of work for our men and women in uniform be improved. I think these reforms, we talk about security sector reforms, should first start from improving the working conditions of our men and women in uniform. And for those Kenyans celebrating that there are salary cuts for our police officers, I don't think that it's the right thing for us to do, because these people sacrifice for our country. In as much as we have few logy police officers, we have a lot of them who are so good, so competent, very much integrity. They exercise integrity in their workplaces and so forth. So please, the security sector in the country, the striker calls upon you to reconsider the salary cuts of junior officers. Let's give our officers what belongs to them. Thank you so much, and let's meet next time in The Striker. Keep subscribing.